Oh, YouTube, you're so stupid. How come they didn't perfect this yet? Bad programming. Terrible programming. Oh, must be AI doing it. Look at this guy. Look. No, I guess you don't have that. What is going on? What is going on here? Where's everyone at? Look at this guy. Driving all slow on the ice. Why would you do that? Wow. All right, hold on. What? Let's see. What does that do? I don't know. YouTube. Don't make no sense. Anybody here yet? No. Everybody's sleeping. Everybody has died. There is nobody here left in all YouTube at all whatsoever. You've got to be kidding me. Well, you get to watch outside. We're going to put some stuff up here. And I guess this is going to have to be for later because, I don't know, everybody's probably still sleeping from, staying up all night for no reason at all. We do this every year. So, let's see. I'm going to bring something up here. We're going to come up with something. I wanted to move the camera. I had to go over there and get it. But if people start coming in, maybe I'll get more motivated to do that. I got a couple of repair things coming up. We have a Crapintosh 7100 computer I got for the cheaps. We're going to show that. They got a video of repairing the power supply. That's going to go up there. What else do I have? The CD-ROM was dead on it, so that's only fantastic. That's all obsolete. So, oh, that guy, it's going again. Okay, you'll see it in a second. Stream's delayed. I don't know. I have various things around here. Even the monitor that was from the other computers. A couple other older Macintoshes. It was being a bit weird. That video is going to get put up there. I don't know if it's a real fix, but it fixed it for what I got to do, so that'll be interesting to see. What else do I have? I don't know. I got some other things I can put up here. We got a, I don't know what we have here. Let me look. It's a something receiver that I had at work and I accidentally killed it. And it's got an integrated amplifier, so I can go through some diagnostics procedures for that. If anybody wants to see that, we can do that live. I'm going to a lot for you. So, I don't know, we can do other random things, but, as far as I can tell, as far as YouTube is considered, nobody's here yet because, it's not a popular channel. So, it's not gonna get any views until it's posted later and somebody accidentally runs across it. But trying to kickstart a channel that's already been started is virtually impossible because you've been dead for so long that you're just not. The only way to work your way you're gonna have to work your way to the top. It's like slave labor. Ugh. Yeah, that's what this country is. They're all making people slaves. You're a slave here. You work to pay for other people's livings, and basically how it goes. So it's modern day slavery. Yeah, there's a lot of corruption that goes on, and the government's, I don't know if I can say that. The government's doing things, quote unquote. They're doing things, whether it be good or bad. They're doing things, so they're there. Who else is going to do it? And I think the biggest problem about everything nowadays, people are so lazy. They're so lazy. Like, to come together, as a people, coming together as a people, and actually like get involved upon what they're actually, what kind of laws they put in place for you. It's nobody really cares. It's like, oh, they raise taxes, oh, they do this and that, and everybody complains about it, but then they don't do anything about it. They don't do anything. So why even complain? Just sit there and be thankful that they're raising taxes. It's fine. Just deal with it, right? And I'm sure way back in the day, people have an uproar. You see all these riots and stuff going around in the cities, and it's like, why are you sitting here destroying stuff? That doesn't prove any point at all. It doesn't prove any point. You want to prove a point, you're going to have to, you need to get a majority of your people together, us. We need to speak as a whole, and nowadays it's like nobody even does that, because they don't even care about their neighbor, which is sad. Nobody cares. Everybody's so separated, especially after COVID. I mean, COVID has just ruined everything. I mean, it's pushed everybody apart further, and it's slowly getting back to what it should be. But I mean, it used to be, think about this. The Bible says, love your neighbor as yourself, and I think that, that by itself, no, people are going to get an uproar, are going to all start leaving now because I said the word Bible, but just don't even consider that. Look at the point that, hey, a lot of the people they want to be themselves, they want to be left alone, and I'm gonna treat others how I see, but the way I see, or the way an individual sees, look at what it's doing. It's there's this balance of the far one way or far the other way, in the essence of good or bad. So it's so there's a medium. But if you start looking around, I mean, it depends where you're at. You're gonna see one way how it affects the area, and you're gonna have another balance. It's gonna be the opposite. And I think everybody, they want something good. They want the better. So it's the only thing that's gonna do that. Everybody's upbringing, is so different that there's no standard of anything. It's just, okay, well, I'm gonna try to do the best that I can do, instead of hey, I think the biggest issue is laziness, complacency, just doing the same thing. It's like exercise. Nobody wants to exercise, but can we go a step further? Can we step out to go a little bit further, to do a little better? And it's not for us, it's for others. So I'm gonna gander in YouTube. I don't know, I wanted to do something for New Year's, but it wasn't happening. It was not happening. And who knows, probably How many people viewing? 0. So, this is a video for later. I don't know if anybody, maybe it might taking off. I think the biggest issue is that it's hard to do mechanical stuff because it's dirty, and then you're having to deal with your personal phone and getting your phone all full of grease and everything, and it's just that it doesn't work. So I'm trying to find a cheap way to go so I can get decent video quality and be able to film at the same time. So that's something in the works. It's something that I really should get going. I didn't know how far I wanted to take this, what I wanted to do, where it would start. I didn't know anything. I don't know what this is going to turn into. I know I was wanting to have a little fun for the new year and kind of do a little fun commentary about various things, random stuff on YouTube. I know there's a lot of channel stuff that I watch. Kind of things that I see in my perspective about like what's going on, especially with AI. That's just crazy, and obviously how it impacts us with AI and where the future of that is actually going. Let's see. I got to find. I'm going to change this over because we're going to switch over to YouTube here. Let's see, this is going to make...
Humans just...
Okay, so... Where are we at? See what we can do. We'll do... I don't want that over there. Can I do this? Oh, sure. Okay, let me switch gears here. So, this is what we got. I don't know what's live here, what I'm seeing or what you're seeing and how synced this is. I have no idea. Why don't we do this? I'll still just assume this works.
kind of stand up without thinking about it,
This is
but robots
Boston
really need to think.
Dynamics thing they're doing.
When you as a human are standing up, you're not saying like, oh, I might step on my arm when
Ow!
I get up. But a robot could totally step on its own arm.
Yeah.
So we want to make sure that it is
Obviously
in
AI
a
here.
good location
AI
so that it
is,
can make sure that everything is working.
AI is...
before it does all of that.
They're separating the two, but then they're going to bring them together eventually. So they're building the robot and then they're doing the training in the AI. And all of us are...
as we do a gentle lift off,
All of us are training AI. We're training AI, whether you like it or not. The things you use, the platforms you use, the things you search, it's all building. So, and then they have these data centers they're building for AI. So, all of those are basically they need resources, power, and all that, and obviously you're going to pay for it. But basically, you're teaching it. That's why it's all free, because you're teaching AI how to do things. But as a matter of fact, it's like, where is this going to go? Where is this going to go? We don't know. Let's see here. Where's this going to end up with AI? I don't know. Is it going to be like the Terminator? Who knows? That's really a mystery. I think a lot of people, there's again here's this separation of people, and I think if everybody just took the chance to just take if you take 6 months, right, and you take each Sunday in those months and you go to church, right, everybody's like, oh, church, well, you don't know where to go, right, because there's all these religions which, who's really telling the truth? Okay, if you don't want to worry about that, see, that was my scenario. I didn't always follow church. I didn't always believe in God. You know, you gotta have to look into it for yourself. I think everybody should at least take the chance to figure out, is this something that's like really true? Is this something I should seek after, follow after? Because some people won't even hear the truth. They don't even want to hear it, because it's contrary to the way their life lives. But there's something more richer and fuller that it has, and you're not going to find that until you actually try to seek and do it. Like, what harm is there, right, to not, say you take what is it, 6 months, right? So typically 4 Sundays in a month, 4 times 6. Take that and just do it. And if there's nothing there, you don't hear anything, oh, it's going to be boring. Well, you know what? Okay, do it yourself. There's apps out there that'll read the Bible too. Just take the New Testament, for example, okay? The New Testament is, it's short. It's really short, okay? It speaks a lot. You can even take the book of Romans, I know a lot of people are like, oh, I'm so bored. You're talking about the Bible. Oh my gosh, it's terrible. I can't stand it, But have it read you. I mean, they dramatize the New Testament, and there's like you can be entertained with it, because there's actually, it's history. It's actually history. And if you don't, just read the New Testament, okay? Have it read to you, find the dramatized version, find something entertaining, to help you, hear it, because if you don't, what is it? But if all this is true, right? If the Bible is true and all this stuff is true, and you didn't hear about it, and you really were like, you were sent to hell for eternity, like forever, because you didn't want to try to hear about it. I mean, what kind of mistake is that? I think it's just that everybody should have a chance to hear it, at least, and if you say, okay, no, this is just a bunch of made up stuff, to force us all and trying to be more right, I don't want to do that, it's okay, so be it, but all I say is the New Testament can be read very within, I mean, if you wanted to be lazy about it, you can probably read the whole entire New Testament, and I think, what was it? Because I just did the whole Bible in a year, which was only you'll read a couple of chapters, which is 15 minutes a day, which is nothing. Consider that. I mean, it's short. There's a guy that goes through the Bible in 5 years in real detail, and it's just utterly amazing. But you won't know until you actually figure it out for yourself. And I'm gonna stop rambling on about this, because a lot of people don't want to hear about it, because even the Bible itself, it says that people don't want to even hear about it. Those who don't believe. So moving on to more channel related stuff, like I said, I don't know, I don't have anybody on, but I'm sure somebody's gonna watch this. Maybe we'll throw I think I'm gonna throw something a little entertaining up here, a little poking around about what's going on with these surroundings that I'm in right now. There's that again. So I think is what I'm gonna do. Maybe I gotta be back because I'm attached to a microphone. I do not have a wireless microphone. Let's see if we could find something else. YouTube. There's a lot of AI too. Again, with this AI, that that there's so much stuff that looks real, but it's not, and a lot of people are going to be lied to about, visually, like, oh, that really happened. No, it really didn't, but look how people are using it to manipulate and fool you. You're going to be fooled. You're going to be fooled with a lot of things. So take AI with a grain of salt. It isn't always completely perfect and correct. So yeah, that's right, and yeah, it's not. So I think as far as that goes, even like, if it's great if you're trying to learn something, but it'll help you, yes, and then it's not. So it's kind of there. It's like, yeah, it's good, but yeah, it's not. But as far as people learning something, yeah, that's good. Try to do that. It's a real easy, quick tool to learn just about anything, but it'll help you, but it's not going to give you the complete answer. There's a lot of things that are not true, because AI is very new, and it's not very smart at this time. Let's see. There's just stuff on my channel. Like I said, nobody's on. I don't have any suggestions, so these are just kind of things on my channel, various things that pop up through the algorithm of YouTube. So there's various stuff. I mean, what? Yeah, probably gotta be careful, because the things that you post up here, if AI finds a way back to you, it's like, okay, it's gonna, like, take the voices for example. It'll pull your voice and learn from your voice, and then use that, and then people put that in other videos. It's really wild. I mean, you're you're gonna be obsolete. People are gonna be obsolete, and that's what they're wanting to do. They're literally wanting to replace you, or either that, or make you lower the working class way down to where at some point where robots can't get used, or I really don't know where it's headed, but it obviously isn't a good thing, because you're replacing people, and when you get replaced, look at where a kid is starting out. They're starting out. They need some kind of starter job, and a lot of kids, they don't even know what they want to do, not much less anything else. It's like, okay, then where do you try to go? Beyond that, you either have to, like, have a lot of experience or get up into a higher position, but how are you going to do that? Like, it's going to take, it's a different pathway of learning. I'm not sure. I think there's too many things with technology that has changed the actual way of learning in life, and how to do things. So this is a lot of rambling right now. Like I said, here's a little tiny itty bitty, like, hole in the wall YouTube channel, and the only way to see it is to get views, and views will bump up in the thing. So your channel is basically hidden, unless somebody purposely looks for it, like in my circumstance and where it's at right now. The only way to do something about it is to you do it on a daily basis. So I really don't know where to go from here. I need some suggestions, but nobody's here to suggest anything. Let's see. Let's just stop rambling on here and probably give you some entertainment. Probably everybody has left again, so nobody's here. Let me go get the camera. What should I leave you with while I'm doing that? Let's see, random video about here we go. We'll do this. You can watch this guy's channel. Don't waste your life, Jack.
Coding since 2012, and I really wish someone told me these 10 things before I wasted years figuring them out the hard way. If you're stuck, overwhelmed, or doubting yourself, let me save you 10 plus years. My name is Pete, and I've been a professional programmer for more than 13 years.
I'll be back. Stay here.
You don't need to know everything. Alright, here's the first thing I wish someone told me. You don't need to know everything. Not even close. But when I started out, I thought real developers had all of JavaScript memorized, like they were just built different. I used to think real developers could just wake up, grab their keyboard from under their pillow, and instantly write perfect JavaScript. Like they had the entire language stored in their brain. Spoiler, they don't. Nobody does. Imagine you're learning to cook. You don't need to memorize every recipe. You just need to know the basics. How to chop, how to season, how not to burn the house down. Coding is the same. It's more about understanding patterns than remembering every detail. Back in the day, I used to feel bad Googling how to get the last item in array. Like, wasn't I supposed to already know this? But here's the thing, I still Google that sometimes. And so do developers who've been doing this way longer than me. Being a good developer isn't about having everything memorized. It's about
Web
knowing
development.
how to find answers, how to think through problems,
Yep,
how to stay
that's another
calm,
AI
and
thing
not
that's gonna
fail.
be obsolete. So
if you're
basically, you
doing
gotta
basic stuff, congrats.
train yourself
Learn how to write. Here's
and
I've saved me years of things.
get a head start. I don't know. They're doing so many lazy other things to that. That's a whole nother thing. I can't see anything, so what we're gonna do is be quiet, you, and we're gonna go and try to switch this over. There. What are you doing? Hello? Ah, yes. Fade. High quality Chinese camera. Well, welcome to the mess. I did clean up a little bit. So this right here is going to be slow and agonizing, I guess. This is the receiver, and it's pretty basic. I used it at work, but I did a little bypassing. This had a weird fault. I wasn't able to get anything, like, I don't even know, like, it wasn't working. Well, it had no output originally, and it had like some weird, like, there were no grounds, and I got it working. So, and then I used it for quite a while, and then I did something, and then now I need some light here. I need some light I don't have. Hold on. Microphone's too short. Get in there, you. Go. Let's see. Still can't see. There you go. So now that you can't see anything, get over here. Oh, that's really dirty. So buttons. I don't know where I was going with that. So actually, these integrated, like, amplifier chips right here that's mounted on the heatsink. The newer and better ones each have individual transistors for driving the they have individual transistors for driving the output. But the cheaper ones, they had complete, like, integrated everything. Everything was integrated into one big chip, and has all the output transistors and all the biasing and all that and all this and that. So I had to figure it out, because what happened was something shorted and I didn't have output. It would not enable the output. and I had to go through and figure out why it was protecting it from turning on the output, which was probably a good thing, because obviously if it had done that, then it would have just really shorted, because the issue was that, well, let me go through it. Maybe I can go through it. I don't know. I need to be over there, and the microphone ain't gonna go that far. I know that. So let's see here. Maybe we can try to do it here. So basically, man, I want to do this. Maybe we could do it here. I'd have to do it on the floor or something. I don't know how well you can hear me if I take this, if I take the microphone off. So, give me a minute. We'll figure this out. We'll screw this up real good. Let me do something I can't do here. Got to set up something here. Down. Okay. Maybe. As you can see, or maybe not. Nope, can't see nothing. Blind as a bat. I have to do this on the computer so I can see what you're seeing, because I can't see what I'm seeing when you're seeing what I'm seeing, but I need you to see what I'm seeing. Don't you see? Probably easier to do with a phone. Instead of breaking my neck to figure this out, yeah, it would be way better. Okay, this is just gonna have to be a video. Because you can't see nothing. And the quality for this is just terrible. Absolutely terrible. So basically, I don't know if I want to do a side here. There's always going to be an input, and it's going to be an output, right? So everything takes power, and everything has some kind of stage. Yeah, this needs to be in a video. I want to show you, but it needs to be in a video. It's just it's not easy to do here. So, I don't know. I want to, but I can't. So, oh, look at that. Oh, that's entertaining. A chair. Okay. Oh boy. Yeah, that's the winner right there. I don't know. 2026. It's kind of funny because today I just felt like, what can we do, to make this year more profitable? Not saying money profitable, but I think stepping out there to help others. That's what the creators of YouTube. Look at every channel. Everybody's trying to help somebody learn something new. Trying to find a passion. Trying to find that passion to even like I was saying, like with jobs, with the young kids, it's like, there's like an entertainment point, and then there's an educational point, and it's like, what do you want to do for a living? What kind of things do you want to do? Because there's like so many things that needs to be done, and as far as like, you have to look at the point of, what's the worth? What is the worth of what you're doing? And how much people want to spend to do it. You know what I mean? So you take example of repairing something that you know, most of it has become to the point where you're going to throw it out and not fix it. You know, so how much does it cost to buy a new one, and how much does it cost you in labor and time that somebody needs to spend to repair it? If you say, for example, if here, I can use this camera because, you know, you don't have to know details, close-up details that I need to do with a higher resolution camera. This is just a security camera, gold piece of 5K, 5K, yeah. Say, take for example this piece of junk, you know, CD-ROM. What are they, like $25 nowadays? Let's see. Let's look this up. Yeah, DVD ROM. Let's see. How much is it? How much is it? I don't know. You can start used. I mean, even look at used. Let's see. Let's look on the Fleabase here. That can adjust. Yeah, kinda. Internal DVD ROM, laptops. Yeah, $25. Yeah, $25. There ain't nothing worth fixing in this at all. There's nothing. Like, I think the most common thing that I would see in these is when you push the eject button that the tray didn't want to come out. And most of what I found was the fact that the spindle and the top, and this is jammed up under here. So this little doodad here, I think, is the magnetic piece, right? Yeah, so this is the magnetic piece, and when the tray goes in, this comes up, and then the CD gets clamped between here and the top piece here, this little magnetic doodad. So, I wonder if that was too fast for this motion. Hold on. I have to make sure that this works so you can see everything. It would get clamped in there, and when it tried to eject, this belt right here, this belt it wouldn't have enough drive to turn the gear to basically eject it. I don't know. Could you lubricate it? I don't know. If there was just a little less, like, I don't know if this material here gets smashed down. I noticed that, like, if you had a disc in the drive, then it would eject, but if you had no disc in there, then it would be too much magnetic clamping, and the whole mechanism to lower this down and pull this tray out and do all that was too much work for this drive. Can I do nothing? Probably. I wanted to see if I could run this. I think I can. This would have to be plugged back into here. Oh, don't know. I don't know. I'll throw that over there where it belongs. That's my test apparatus. Sorry, I dropped you. Test apparatus for figuring out that Macintosh SCSI CD-ROM drive that's older, and I get a video about that. I'm working on messing with that. I was thinking of trying to pull the laser out of a newer one and put that in there. Oh, spoiler alert, that's what happened. Laser died. So let's see. I don't know. That one's going to be... I don't think that's going to happen, just because of the fact that you can't just stick a laser in there and then put it back together and make sure it works, because it requires a precise alignment, and there's it gets really complicated with. Yeah, I think you got to use an oscilloscope and use a CD, and you have to read the raw data through the oscilloscope and try to align it under the bottom, which is near impossible because there's too much in the way and it ain't gonna happen. And I don't know, it's more headache than it's worth, really. So yeah, it is a laser, so if you stare in there, you're gonna go blind permanently. So just to let you know, don't do that unless you want to go blind. That's fine. Didn't do it, but I don't recommend it because permanent. So your eyes are pretty delicate. Yep, there's that again. I think that's one thing, you hear somebody say a lot, that it's one of those things they teach you. Well, I don't know if they teach anybody that, but it's not a good thing to be like when you're trying to do a speech or try to talk or anything like that. So it's kind of like one of those things that's in your brain. You just do it. You just do it because you're so used to doing it. And trying to train yourself to undo it, it's hard. So especially I guess as you get older people, they can't. Trying to retrain yourself to do something that you've been doing for so many years, it's not easy. And so that's a whole nother thing. You talk about taking care of yourself, taking care of your body. Taking care of your body, that's a whole nother thing. It's a whole nother thing in the corruption of everything. And everything's money, money, money. There's another thing that relates to the Bible. It talks about money. Yeah, you start learning about the corruption of money. Yeah. Yep, that's in there too. It tells you. So, it's terrible if you figure it out. So, I don't know. I got various things. Like I said, I'd like to try to do something, but like I said, that camera is just that's a no. That's not gonna. It's not gonna work too good. So, I don't know. Trying to figure things out. That's my biggest issue. Trying to get good quality video and to bring it to you guys, to make it like good, because you start watching some of these videos and the video quality isn't good, and it's like can't see what's going on. What good does it do me? So that's a major step. It's not cheap at all. So I don't know. Like I said, it's gotta be one of those things I gotta work on. I want to do various things and try to do that. I have to get a setup so it works good. I'm gonna try to see. I don't know how many people are gonna comment, but throw some comments in there, some suggestions. As we work together, try to make this something good. A good channel out there for people to learn about various things. I mean, I don't know. I've learned a lot of things over the years. So, to pass that taking, I don't know, 20 years to learn something by sitting there trying to figure out, or did various resources to compile that all together into one point just to give you an answer in like 30 seconds or 5 seconds. That's pretty valuable at the cost of free. So, well, technically it's not free. Nothing is free, So the only things that are free come from the heart. So I'm gonna get off of here because I'm kind of tired of rambling, and you're probably tired of hearing me ramble. So hopefully this can become something profitable in the future. I have to get my butt in gear because it's like summertime. there's so much that goes on to be able to put that in there and put that up here. You know, not easy, but we're gonna try. We're gonna try to make things good. Try to make it entertaining. You know, fun, educational, good content. You know, at the price of free. Well, it's not free. So, adios. Everyone have a good 2026. I say have a good one. You have to. Yep. You have to. There's no option. You're just gonna have to have a good 2026. You know, the whole year. No sad points. No nothing. Every second, it's gotta be good. You know, have a blessed one. Have a blessed 2026. You know, a lot of people, it's like, what does that mean, blessed? You know, you're not gonna figure that out until you understand, like, how far that goes, how the deepness of blessed means. So, whoever watches this, whoever is watching this, I hope to see you soon. I'm gonna try to get, like I said, I got a couple of videos that I did of those couple things. I want to try to go a little further with other things. And, yep, that's it. I'm out. Y'all have a good day. I don't know, whenever you see this, you probably won't see this today, but, you know, we'll see. Take care, and we'll see you shortly, hopefully, you know. Okay. Bye. Well, bye for now. Yeah.